Howdy, and welcome to Book Your Give Here. We're Travel That Gives. I'm Lulu Lima, your chief travel guru. I hope this episode of Dream Now Travel Later inspires you to travel, and I invite you to give us the opportunity to help plan your next memorable trip. So grab your popcorn and enjoy.
I can't imagine that some of our locations are actually going to be lifting restrictions soon. Hopefully, that also means international travel will start to be allowed. Yay, I can't wait. You guys have no idea how much I want to be on a plane. So with that, I am bringing you guys today two of my dear colleagues, Angelique and David Johns of the Wanderlust Collection, and they're going to share with us some of the European properties that they have that are a little bit off the beaten path. They're a little different than everything else that we encounter, and best of all, there's easy to do social distancing and all of that to go with it. So keeping in mind that everything that I'm doing for you right now is for the new normal. So with that, Angelique, David, take it away.
Hey, good afternoon, Lulu. Angelique and I are excited to be here today because we represent luxury properties not only in Europe but also in the Maldives that are 5-star and some of the best you're going to go to. The other great thing about them is they're boutique, meaning they're small. They range in size from 120 rooms being our biggest property down to, I believe, 51 rooms at one of our other properties. So it's a great place if you want privacy, if you want to have the ability to go and see the town the way it is or location. It's just wonderful. I'm David. I'm the executive wanderer, and as we always like to say, I report to the chief, who's Angelique. Angelique, why don't you introduce yourself?
Uh, oh, is she on mute?
I think she might be on mute.
Let's see. Let's unmute her. All right, try again.
Hi, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Wonderful. So thank you again for having us. We're excited to share some of our properties with you today, and let's go ahead and get started.
Awesome. So I'm going to switch the screen so that we can see the presentation. Everybody, you'll hear our voices coming to you. So with that, let us, there we go. And so again, this is the Wanderlux Collection, and here are our wonderful hosts today that are joining us. And we love this. And so there's a piece of this that's also important for you guys to know that I am part of the select experiences, and so is the Wanderlust Collection. So that means that you guys actually get additional benefits when you book them through me, and so that way I can make sure you guys really are VIP'd on top of the extra level of service that you're going to get. So David, Angelique, would you like to start with the first property?
Yeah, so our first stop today, Lulu, is our property in Nîmes, France, the Imperator, originally built back in 1929, and then the Maison Albert family did a multi-million dollar facelift and reopened it in June of 2019. And a fun fact about this property is some notable people have lived there, being Ernest Hemingway and maybe a person you heard of being Ava Gardner.
Ooh, look at that.
And the upper right-hand side, there's a box. So Nîmes, France is located a 3-hour train ride from Paris, a high speed, or as Angelique and I say, two splits of wine, and you're there. There's 2 train stations in Nîmes or available to get to Nîmes. One is in the heart of the city. It's a 20-minute walk from the property that you see just to the right of that nearby activities. There's a circle around our property. And then
Okay.
the other's a brand new station that is on the right hand. I'm sorry, it's about 20 minutes away, and it's a brand new station. It was beautiful when we were there.
That's awesome. So let's take a look at the property. I mean, this is it looks like you have an indoor area for pool and spa kind of piece, and then outdoor.
Yeah, we have 2 pools on property, one indoor. We were there in January, and it was not conducive being an outdoor pool. Great, great pool area. And the right hand side of your screen there, that is our spa where you can get facials, you can get body treatments. And then I'd like to focus just for a second on that lower left-hand picture. That's the lobby as you walk in. And over up those stairs is the original working lift when the property was built back in 1929. So it's pretty cool to go in there. For our foodies, oh, you're going to love this property. We have a 3-star Michelin chef who runs the restaurant, and that is Chef Pierre Garnier.
That's
So
awesome. And for a lot of times Michelin star restaurants, you have a really long line in terms of getting into them. As a hotel guest, is there a delay, or do we need to do reservations early on? How's the best opportunity for that?
well, the great thing is that our hotel guests get priority over anybody else. So it's only seats 30. So I'd recommend with your first day or so there to as soon as you check in, say, hey, listen, I'd like to get reservations, and they will fit you in.
That's awesome. And taking a look at their accommodations, very nice, clean lines. So everything really easy. Very little or few places for our COVID contamination opportunities, right? Everything here is really
Everything here is going to be taken care of daily. And I'd like to point out that any of the properties that we have in the collection, Angelique has to prove them before they come into the collection. And cleanliness is probably one of the top things she's looking for when she tours the properties before we bring them into our collection. So we're very proud of that.
that's awesome. And especially with our new normal, everybody always has that concern. So we want to address that, early on. Um, and
This
yeah,
This one right here you're showing is unique. So we have 53 rooms in the main hotel, and then we have 8 private houses. So we call them maisons, and maison means home in French. The cool thing here is you can go from a 1 bedroom to a 4 bedroom multi or how do you want to say it? You can put them together so that you have from 700 square feet up to 1700 square feet. So if you're multi-generational traveling and you all want to be together, you can do that. If you're traveling with your friends and you want to be together, you can do that. Each one has its own terrace, and if you look in the upper right hand picture, you can actually see the back of the hotel. And what you don't see here is there is a beautiful Angelique, how do they describe that there? I'm losing track of the word.
Beautiful courtyard
Beautiful
area.
courtyard. We're going to make a good team there. And every one of the rooms is named after someone famous who stayed there. So we have the Ernest Hemingway, Ava Gardner, and then El Cordobles, who was a bullfighter. And he and Ava might have had a tryst back in the day. We're not quite sure. If,
woohoo! We like the
if,
spiciness that comes with it.
if,
So
go ahead.
obviously, this is an off the beaten path location. So, you come in from Paris, and what type of experiences could you have in this area?
Well, I'm glad you asked that. In the lower left-hand side, that is Angelique going underneath the Pont de Garde, which is a Roman aqueduct. Everywhere you look here, you're going to see Roman influences, and this area is also known as the French Rome. The upper right-hand side, if you want to go for a concert, when we get back to those days of the new normal,
Yep.
that's Angelique and I outside of the arena there, the amphitheater. Fun fact here, is that Elton John kicked off his 2020 world tour. That was his first place he did it, was there in Nîmes.
Look at that. So really great opportunities here. And I see in the center that you've got what looks like a lavender field.
It is
Um,
the lavender field of Provence. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're not far from the Provence area where you're able to create your own perfumes and things like that. So we really can create great itineraries, truly customized, so that you can have those, off the beaten path experiences, and you don't have to worry, about being in crowded spaces or things like that.
I agree.
And so from there, we're going off into Porto. And I love Porto because you start off in France and now you're going into Portugal and you're getting a whole different feel.
Completely different feel, but the one thing you're going to notice here as a theme is that the Maison Albert believe in bringing back properties to the grandeur. So this just reopened in fall of 2018. after a multi-million dollar facelift. If you've been to Porto or you're looking to go to Porto, there's actually the place I would say you want to stay is on the right hand side of the river, because that's where you get the traditional folks that you're mingling with. We have a picture later on, I'll show you. It's centrally located. Porto itself is an extremely easy city to walk, especially if you're on the right hand side of the river. And it's only an 8-minute walk to the train station, and it's about 20 minutes from the airport to get there.
Yeah, no, and it's great. And obviously the property again being that 5-star, you've got that looks like a hydro pool that I'm looking at.
Yeah, that's unique because this is actually on the lower level, and there's not many hotels you find that do that. But that's right next to our spa, that you can once again get all the facials and body treatments. On the Le Monument restaurant, lower right hand side. Wait for it, Lulu. Guess what?
3-star Michelin.
Don't have three. We're slackers. We only have a 1-star Michelin chef here.
Hey, it's a Michelin. It's a Michelin.
It's a Michelin star, and you can enjoy Portuguese food here, but elevated, and all the produce and everything else comes locally sourced. So that's great. That seats 40, and just like at our other property, our guests have the first right to get a reservation.
Awesome. And just so you guys know, getting a Michelin star is no easy feat. So while I push the issue of mimicking the one in France, getting even just being labeled through the Michelin guide for restaurants is amazing. I had a lot of experience of that during my culinary arts days, when between the schooling as well as when I lived in Switzerland, and learning what it takes to get to restaurants at that level. And let me tell you, it's a lot of work. So these kudos to these guys for being able to just make it on the list. It's a very reserved group of properties or restaurants that actually do.
And if you want lighter fare because you don't want to have the Michelin star and you want just traditional food, the upper right hand side, that is the place. And if you look at it, there is a original fireplace there, and it was renovated, and it is just stunning to sit there. Those doors, actually those windows actually open up. So in the summertime, you can sit there, have yourself a cup of coffee or a tea, and look out and just watch the people walking by.
Yeah, you can totally do everything al fresco. It's awesome.
I have to say that I don't know about both of you, but I am a huge people watcher. So to be able to sit there, and I know you two are being good with coffee or tea. I would be having a glass of port, but watching everybody go by, I can sit and do that for hours.
Who said I was going to be good?
A little wine.
I will join you in that glass of port. The rooms, they again, really high touch, high quality rooms. You won't lack for anything in terms of space here. They're not your traditional European small rooms.
No, the smallest room we have is the superior room, but that's 312 square feet, which, given if you've been in New York City or some other city centers, that is a larger room than most. And then if you want to take it up to the top, look on the right-hand side, and that's the Suite Monumental. That has 940 square feet with living room, dining room, and just phenomenal accommodations.
And do you have connecting rooms here for those multi-generationals, or for even those, families with 5 or something along those lines?
Yes, we do, because we actually have 13 suites, which, given the property only has 76 rooms, that's actually quite a lot of inventory. So that's something that we can definitely put together, and you can have your connecting suites.
Awesome. And so experience is in Porto. If you've never been to Portugal, you're totally missing out, and we need to do an itinerary for you. But Porto is one of the amazing places, not only for culinary but for wine as well, and of course having the port wine. But you have the destination itself lends to a lot of outdoor activities. So as you can see from some of the pictures that were put in here from David and Angelique's experiences, you can see how easy everything really is. And again, the train stations and all of that are just absolutely stunning, because they're works of art themselves.
If we just step back for a second, because you bring up a really good point there, Lulu. When you think about Paris, everybody's been to Paris, but not a lot of people have been to Nîmes. The
Right,
same thing takes place in Portugal. So many folks, that picture in the upper right-hand side, that's a picture of the Douro River Valley.
right.
Many folks will have a 3 or 4 day stop in Porto and go to the valley further out for wine tasting and other things. So it really makes for a great trip that it's not just, oh, went to one place. You can go to multiple places here. So that makes it wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you for pointing that out. So with that, we're going to go over to Crete.
And I
And
will, if I can just
oh,
jump in real
absolutely.
quick, I know that as Lulu is putting these together for you, it does make it very nice because from Nîmes, about an hour away is the airport in Marseille. And you can fly from Marseille to Porto in about 2 hours, which is amazing. And then fly from Portugal down to Crete. So, very easy connections throughout Europe to get to all of these properties and have these great experiences.
Yeah, and we can do it all on one itinerary. So if you've got somewhere in the area about 14 days or thereabouts coming from the States, we've got 2 travel days. We absolutely can break all of these properties up so that you can enjoy them for a number of days at a time. So and you can start in one area, end in another, and absolutely again give you different flavors of the European Union. So with that, we're looking at the map here. And so you can see where the airport is. You have two of them on the island of Crete. So and your property is where the blue dot is, correct?
Yeah. Yes, correct. I want to point out here that there are two different sides of Crete, and we're just going to focus today on the northwestern side. But you could really make an itinerary out of the island of Crete and just see three different ways of seeing property. So um, let's start with the fact that it's about 30 minutes from the airport, so that's easy. The other thing is from Athens to Hania is only an hour flight.
Correct.
Athens, Heraklion is only an hour flight. But if you're going to this property, fly into Hania because if not, you have a 2.5 hour car ride from Heraklion.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's a good point as well. So, and that's part of why we put the maps up, guys, so that way I can show you the differences. And if you wanted to do the car ride, we absolutely can. Maybe we would only do it one way.
It's beautiful, beautiful sights to see.
Exactly. So this property, it has a lot more flair to it. Has a bit beach option to it. So give us a little bit of background.
If you notice on the right hand side and then on the left hand side picture, there are domes. That's an
Yeah.
ode to the company that owns it, Domes Properties and Resorts, and they have a total of four throughout Greece, one on the island of Crete, and then three actually on the. I'm sorry, one on Crete, one on Corfu, and three on the island of Crete. So that's just an ode to them. This property opened in 2016, um, and it just has that lightness. If you look at it, light throughout.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you really have that flavor. And just so that you guys know, in terms of Crete as as a destination, it is very gastronomically heavy. So it is one of the areas where you're going to find so much culinary that you're really never going to go hungry. And with there not being any GMOs in that part of the world, the taste of the food is so amazing. I can't even begin to tell you because there are no words for me to explain it. You just mouth water.
I, I describe it this way: when you eat a tomato there, it's like Athena, the goddess herself, kissed it and gave it to you because there's no other way to describe how great that tomato is.
Yeah, and we can't grow that here, even if we have no GMOs in our backyard.
No.
It's just it's the land, it's everything. It's pure bliss. So with that, this property, obviously being that it is waterfront, and it has, some different flavors to it, has, some different pieces, but again, very open. You can have, looks like you can have a nice jacuzzi bath, or a hot tub on the, right on your patio.
Correct. Yeah, this property boasts not only your indoor space, but each level room has an outdoor space that is just phenomenal. Like you just talked about having a bath outside or having the jacuzzi. The other thing that makes Domes Narus so special is every single room has some type of equipment in it, from TRX to a stability ball to Busu, you name it, they have it. And so you don't even have to leave your room and you can get some exercise as you're trying to burn off some of those calories from all that great Greek food.
Yeah. And and look at this. I mean, who doesn't want to go to this? Who doesn't want to experience this? And you can see, that you've got like loft opportunities here. So there are the rooms also connecting so that you can have multi-generational families or larger families living together?
I think I probably failed to point out the fact that this property is adults only.
Ah,
So we do have a sister property that we can talk about another time that's located in Hania also, and that is family friendly.
great. So in this case, then let's just focus on the adults. So this is really just for the getaways.
This
For
is a great honeymoons, weddings, reconnecting, you name it.
Absolutely. Um, so with that, oops, I think I went the wrong way. Some of the features of the property here. I see
Well,
some mixology going on and all of that. So
if you want to burn some calories off at night, there's a resident DJ who will mix it up for you so you can have some fun there. There's 3 pools on property, one indoor, 2 outdoor, one quiet, one more of the active. And then you can see the gentleman there, getting some exercise in. Not only do we have Pilates and yoga that are included as part of your stay, there's also the fact if you want a running concierge or if you want to have some personal training done, that's also available to you to do.
that's awesome. So wellness is really big on these properties as well, guys. So as we're trying to get out of that cabin fever, we want to plan some of the stuff. You can do some sightseeing. You can enjoy, all the different culture pieces as well as have wellness involved. So great opportunities here. And experience wise, I mean, you can only talk about how beautiful the Mediterranean is, and just it's eye opening, right? So sometimes you feel like you truly are in the medieval times.
Well, yeah, exactly. Speaking of medieval times, that lighthouse right there was actually built before the medieval times because the Venetians and the Egyptians actually built it over different times because Crete has been under different rule over the years before it became, a Greek. So that's a fun fact there. Right above that lighthouse picture is a Samaria Gorge located about an hour away from the property. And you can go there and hike the entire day and see some beautiful vistas and sights. Upper right hand side, you have Balos, that's about 90 minutes away, fun area to go to. And then the world famous pink beaches of Elefanisi are there right below. And both of those beaches are 90 minutes away from the property. So a short ride that Lulu can set up for you as a part of your tour of the island.
And not very difficult. Everything is pretty simple in terms of just getting a quick ferry over. Everything would be privately done, so that way you don't have to worry about being with people that you may not be comfortable with, or you don't know. Again, keeping that social distancing concept. So all of that is very doable. So I want to say thank to both of you for really just showing us some of these amazing properties overall. I mean, uh, this has just been awesome, and I love seeing every single piece of the puzzle that makes it work. So I again, thank you. This was I'm in love with these properties. I know my folks who are watching as well would be like, "Oh, I got to go there. I got to figure out how to get there." So I will help all of you guys do that. Obviously, you will know how to find me. And if you need anything, by all means, let's start planning, because 2021 is around the corner, and these places do get booked, even in today's new normal. Once they start opening up, the reservations are just going to be, I gotta go, gotta go, gotta go. So let's start planning your adventures, especially with these properties.
We'd love to
And
welcome you.
David, Angelique, thank you for being here. Do you have anything
Thank you.
to add?
No, I just great properties, for folks to experience. And as Lulu said, it makes it great because she can set up those private tours, have all of that done for you. So you can really go on your holiday and just completely relax.
Yep, and that is my goal. So with that, thank you very much. Namaste.
Namaste.
Until the next time.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.